Hey, it's your teacher Jay, Professor J, Mr. J Johnson, and I'm back. And today we're going to be talking about 4.2G, which is changing fractions to decimals or decimals to fractions. This video is going to be about fractions to decimals. The next one will be about decimals to fractions. Before we get started, I hope you guys are doing well. If there's anything wrong, anything going on, anything right you want to talk about, just go ahead and write me in the questions link that's always below this. Before we get started, I've got a joke for you. So, why is it that the equal sign was always so humble? Because he knew that he wasn't greater than or less than anyone else. You get it? You get it? That joke? Okay, here we go. So this one's going to be pretty quick. Let's break this down. So I have 12 hundredths here and 3 tenths here. In 4th grade, the main thing we're doing is changing tenths and hundreds to decimals. We see this in a lot of different ways. One of the ways we see this is actually when we use our base 10 blocks. Our base 10 blocks, they'll be broken up like that, which would be our tenths. And then if you see the lines across and there's 10 of them, that's our hundreds. So we look at it like that. That's one of our main ways to think about it with our powers of 10. What we're going to do is actually just use our place value chart to help us think about this. So when we see 12 hundredths, you want to think, what are my place values? I know that the decimal place, before the decimal place is always the ones place. After it will always be my tenths place, and after that will always be my hundredths place. Just like that, ones, tenths, hundreds. Okay, so once I see that right here, I'll just take my decimal point, bring it down, and I can start filling in this number. This is 12 hundredths. Whenever you say hundredths like that, whatever that ends in, when I'm saying that, is where this number will end in on our chart. So I say 12 hundredths, so I know my last number is going to end in that hundredths place. So I say 12 hundredths, that's 1, 2, and you see that 2 ends in that hundredths place. 12 hundredths, ends in the hundredths place. And that would be how the number was written in decimal form. It really is that simple. If you can say it, you own it when it comes to fractions to decimals or decimals to fractions. 3 tenths, when we're changing that, let's go ahead and label these places. This first one right here on the left of the decimal is the, the ones place. The next one right here is going to be the tenths place, yes. And then the last one, say it out loud, hundredths place. Very good. Just like so. I have 3 tenths. So what is that ending in when I say that? 3 tenths. It's ending in the tenths place. So I'm going to put that 3 in the tenths place. Just like so. The reality is fractions and decimals are really the same thing. They're just written in different forms because they help us to think in different ways. These are no different than these in value. That's why we have to know how to convert them, and if you know how to say them, then you can do that. Let's go ahead and switch these up, make them a little bit more difficult, and see how easy it is to really do these conversions, okay? All right, so let's say we have 36 and 25 hundredths. Much bigger number. And then this one over here, we'll make it 59, and we'll make it 36 hundredths. Okay, let's take a look at this one first. So the first thing I will notice is, do I have a larger number in the ones place than just the ones place? Excuse me, yes, I have a 3, and that's going to be in the tens place. So I need to expand this here. Put a T here so we can get to the tens place. I have 36. That's going to be my whole number. Because I said this, 36 and 25 hundredths. So if that's the case, I'm going to say 36 and 25 hundredths. So I'll put 36 here. And then I have 25 hundredths. It ends in that hundredths place, so just like so. 36 and, the decimal place is always going to be read and, 36 and 25 hundredths. Notice, these things are exactly the same. When I read a fraction, I read the fraction 36 and 25 hundredths. Whole numbers, the and is the decimal that separates the wholes from the parts. 36, and 25 hundredths, just like so. Let's take a look at this one over here. This is 59 and 36 hundredths. Go ahead and try that one yourself. I'll pause for just a minute, or you can pause me. Okay, now that you've tried it yourself, which you should have paused me and tried it yourself. So now that you did that, let's go ahead and try this one out. We have to go ahead and increase this here. Make this a tens place. This is a separate problem, so don't look at this over here. That's the tens place. We have 59, and 36 hundredths, just like so. I said 36 hundredths, so I should end in that hundredths place. I hope that was helpful. It's really quick. It's not that much to it. If you need or have any questions, again, reach out to me. I am going to put a link below this also to changing decimals to fractions. We'll do that next. And I will also put a link to the 5th grade practice of this standard because it gets a little more complicated. We go to the thousands place, and also we simplify after we change it over from fractions to decimals. So, or decimals to fractions, excuse me. So you want to go ahead and check that out. Hit the links below. Thanks.